There's a type of unease that doesn't show up on exams, but silently destroys lives. It's that feeling that the mind never stops, the heart never rests, and the body never keeps up with the accelerated pace of the head. You wake up tired, sleep exhausted, breathe shallowly, and live in a kind of permanent state of alert, as if something bad is about to happen any second. It doesn't matter what's on the outside. The danger always seems to be on the inside. Modern anxiety is this, a war that happens without shots fired, but with profound damage. It puts you to fight against ghosts, convinces you that everything can go wrong, makes you imagine dialogues that never existed, rehearse conflicts that no one started, and solve problems that never even arrived. You try to control tomorrow as if it were possible to shape the unpredictable. And in this impossible effort to anticipate everything, you lose precisely what would make your life lighter, the now. Epictetus said that what disturbs men's minds is not events, but their judgments on events. It's a phrase that seems simple, but that reveals the key to all mental strength. Because what defeats you is not the world out there. It's the exaggerated, distorted, and anguished interpretation that your mind creates about it. It's the meaning you give, the weight you place, the catastrophe you anticipate. The pain is not what happens. The pain is what your mind builds on top of what happens. And that's why mental strength isn't being born strong. It's not enduring everything in silence. It's not turning to stone. It's precisely the opposite. It's learning to remain calm even when the world crumbles. It's sustaining your own axis when life tries to pull you in all directions. It's seeing the chaos without letting it rob you from the inside. If you're watching this, maybe you're tired of being a slave to your own thoughts, tired of being afraid of what hasn't happened yet, tired of wasting energy on worries that never become real, tired of this constant feeling that you have no control over your own head. And maybe, deep down, all you want is to learn to breathe again, to rest again, to think again, to live again. In this video, you will understand exactly how this happens and how to get out of this cycle. You will see the real, concrete, and human path that a mind takes to get out of the chaotic, anxious, and reactive state, and reach a level of calm so deep that nothing external can shake it. And I want you to stay with me until the end, because each level of this journey reveals a piece of your own mind that you may never have noticed. In the beginning, you will recognize yourself in the automatic and impulsive reactions. Then you will discover the pause, the training, the stability, the elasticity, the strategic awareness, and finally, the unwavering presence. If you really want to change, you need to listen to everything. Each detail builds the next. Before continuing, let me ask you for something simple but important. If this theme speaks to you, if you feel you need to strengthen your mind, subscribe to the channel. Here I publish content for those who want to mature for real, with depth, clarity, and realism. No ready-made phrases, no cheap motivation, just solid, practical, and transformative reflections. And in the comments, tell me your city and your age. This helps me understand who is walking with me on this journey. Now breathe slowly. Feel the air going in and out as if you were opening space inside yourself. The chaos out there doesn't have to be the chaos in here. Today, you will learn to walk inside your own mind and come out stronger. Let's start. Level 1, reactive mind. The reactive mind is the starting point for almost every human being. It's when you live hostage to impulse, emotion, fear, and anticipation. Nothing is analyzed, nothing is filtered, nothing is understood. Everything is felt in a raw, intense, urgent way. The reactive mind doesn't wait for the facts. It anticipates, creates scenarios, imagines risks, amplifies details. It acts before understanding and reacts before perceiving. At this level, anxiety becomes an autopilot. You wake up already thinking about delays, difficult conversations, accumulated tasks, possible criticisms. The mind runs forward as if trying to predict every movement of life. And in this constant effort to protect yourself, you end up living in a state of tension that never turns off. Imagine someone who wakes up in the middle of the night with a racing heart, as if something serious is about to happen. Or someone who receives a neutral message and immediately interprets it as rejection. Or someone who feels silence from another person and already transforms that into abandonment. The reactive mind is an emotional amplifier. Everything that is small becomes huge. Everything that is uncertain becomes a threat. Everything that is silence becomes noise. You lose the ability to trust your own senses. Thought becomes bigger than reality, and the more you try to control what you feel, the more dominated you become by your own fear. The truth is hard, but liberating. You are not suffering from what is happening, but from what your mind is creating about what is happening. And even so, this is where the change begins. Chaos is the door. Pain is the warning. Anxiety is the sign that you need to advance to the next level. Level 2, observing mind. The observing mind is the first real step towards mental strength. It's when you start to realize that there is a difference between what you feel and who you are. The mind continues to be noisy, continues to be accelerated, continues to create scenarios. But now there is something new inside you, an observer. It's that silent voice that says, "I'm anxious. My mind is trying to scare me. This is just a thought, not a truth." This small distance changes everything. It's like putting light inside a dark room. The mess is still there, but now you can see it. Imagine someone about to explode in irritation, but who takes a deep breath and realizes, this is just a reaction of my body. Or someone who feels fear and, instead of running away from the sensation, observes it. Or someone who realizes that they are creating a tragic mental scenario and chooses not to believe it. The observing mind doesn't try to erase the chaos, it tries to understand it. And by understanding, it weakens it. This is where metacognition is born, the ability to see your own thought as something that happens inside you, and not as something that defines you. You stop being the storm and start being the one who looks out the window. The clouds keep passing, but now you know that they are not permanent, not personal, not prophetic. At this stage, a question arises that changes lives. Do I still believe everything my mind shows me? When this question appears, you are ready for the next step, training. Level 3, trained mind. The trained mind is where mental strength begins to take real shape. It's here that you discover that thinking well is an exercise, not a talent. That emotion is not a sentence. That anxiety is not an identity. And that emotional discipline is built day after day, gesture after gesture. The trained mind learns that discipline is not rigidity, but constancy. It's not hardening, it's organizing. It's not closing in, it's directing. You start to choose what you do when you wake up, what you observe, what you feed, what you cut, what you allow to enter your mind. Think of someone who exchanges the automatic habit of waking up and drowning in notifications for a minute of silence, or someone who decides not to immediately respond to a provocation, or someone who, even tired, maintains a small routine, making the bed, drinking water, walking a little, breathing deeply. These gestures are apparently simple, almost invisible, but added together day after day, they create a more centered, more lucid, more present mind. The trained mind begins to understand that it can choose the focus, choose the rhythm, choose the movement. Emotional training transforms the body into an ally. When you maintain a minimum routine, the body stops asking for urgency, and the mind stops asking for panic. When you breathe correctly, the brain receives the signal that it is safe. When you slow down the action, you also slow down the interpretation. And this is where something powerful is born. Stability. Level 4, Stable mind. The stable mind is that internal state in which drama loses strength. Things stop swallowing you. Problems stop defining you. Emotions stop kidnapping you. It's as if a deeper axis arises inside you, a silent center that keeps you standing even when everything around you oscillates. The stable mind faces life as it is, neither exaggerates nor minimizes, neither fantasizes upwards nor downwards, just observes, organizes, understands, and acts. It's the mind that asks, what is really happening? What depends on me? What doesn't depend on me? What is the next useful step? Imagine a person who receives difficult news. Before, this person would collapse, despair, create 1,000 catastrophic scenarios. Now they breathe, process, seek facts, organize solutions, not because they became cold, but because they learned not to be dragged by the initial emotion. Stability does not eliminate chaos, it just decides not to be swallowed by it. And the beauty of this state is that it is perceptible. The people around you begin to feel your firmness. They trust you more, calm down near you, look for you when everything collapses. The stable mind is the safe harbor in the middle of the storm, and it prepares you for the stage where you not only endure, but adapt. Emotional elasticity. Level 5. Elastic mind. The elastic mind is when you learn to withstand impact without breaking. It's when pain stops being a sentence and starts being a teacher, and when frustration stops being defeat and starts being training. At this stage, you no longer define yourself by the fall. You understand that making mistakes is part of the path, that failing is human, that losing is inevitable, that suffering doesn't diminish you, it deepens you. Emotional elasticity happens when you feel the pain, but don't build a home inside it. When you fall, but don't become the fall. When you suffer, but don't transform into suffering. Imagine someone who loses a great professional opportunity. Before, this would be interpreted as proof of incapacity. Now this person feels the blow, accepts reality, and then reorganizes. They come back more mature, clearer, more centered. The Stoics said that fire proves gold and adversity proves man. And here you discover where you are still fragile, where you still give in, where you still bend. And, reversing what the reactive mind would do, you transform these weaknesses into compasses for your own evolution. The question that this stage brings is profound. What in me still breaks under pressure? When you can answer this honestly, you are ready for the next state, that of strategic awareness. Level 6. Conscious mind. The conscious mind is the stage in which you stop fighting against emotions and start choosing what to do with them. It's where impulse loses control, where the ego loses power, where action stops being a reflex and starts being a decision. Here, you don't respond automatically. You analyze, you calculate, you evaluate consequence, impact, cost, intention. Imagine someone being provoked. Before, this person would return the provocation, would react with anger, would defend their own ego. Now they observe the gesture, feel the emotion arise, evaluate what they would gain by responding, and decide not to enter the game. And this decision doesn't come from fear, it comes from lucidity. The conscious mind understands that responding to everything is wasting energy, understands that some battles are invitations to chaos, understands that silence often is strategy and not submission. It's here that mental strength begins to weigh in the environments. Your presence becomes firm, your word begins to have value, your silence begins to have authority. The wise man does not win all wars. The wise man chooses the wars that are worth fighting. And when you reach this level, you realize that almost none are. And it is this deep understanding that opens the way to the rarest state of all. Level 7. Unwavering mind. The unwavering mind is the pinnacle of mental strength, not because it doesn't feel anything anymore, but because nothing it feels is capable of tearing it from the center. It's the state in which you understand that life will not be perfect, but that you can go through it with dignity, lucidity, and presence. The unwavering mind does not fight against the world. It walks with it. It doesn't demand control. It chooses direction. It doesn't react to chaos. It crosses it. Imagine a serious crisis. While everyone despairs, someone breathes, organizes, prioritizes, talks, acts with clarity. This person is not denying reality. They are refusing to be swallowed by it. This level is made of depth, not rigidity, of maturity, not coldness, of acceptance, not giving up. The unwavering mind doesn't need to seem strong. It doesn't seek to prove anything. It doesn't seek recognition. It just exists in such a centered way that everything around it reorganizes around it. It's a silent, dense, calm presence that doesn't require a voice. It's the type of strength that crosses generations. It's the type of peace that nothing buys. It's the type of axis that no one can take away. This is the destiny of a mind that decides to mature. Now look at everything you've gone through. You saw how it is possible to get out of the reactive mind that drags you, pass through the observing mind that illuminates you, through the trained mind that organizes you, through the stable mind that calms you, through the elastic mind that strengthens you, through the conscious mind that guides you, until finally reaching the unwavering mind that sustains you. Mental strength is not magic, it's not genetics, it's not talent, it's training, it's lucidity, it's repetition. It's applied emotional maturity every day, in the details that no one sees. The Stoics said that true peace is born when you learn to focus only on what depends on you. And when you understand this deeply, the world stops dominating you, because nothing external can be greater than the internal clarity you build. In the end, the strong mind is not the one that wins the chaos. It's the one that crosses it in silence. It's the one that observes, understands, breathes, acts, and continues firm, even when everything tries to make it fall. If this journey made sense to you, if this script helped you see where you are and where you can go, subscribe to the channel. Here we follow together towards a more mature, calmer, and more conscious mind. And, in the comments, leave the word calm. Not as an automatic gesture, but as a reminder of what you choose to build within yourself from today.